Majority of Americans frustrated by excessive tipping gone too far. The research by Coupon Bird surveyed 1,199 Americans about their own tipping habits before asking another 628 Americans about their views on tipping and wages for servers. Over 3/4 of Americans surveyed believing tipping expectations have gone too far, citing the increasing presence of gratuity requests at self-service kiosks, convenience stores, and the like, despite nearly 8 in 10 Americans agreeing that self-service machines asking for tips is going too far. It's also something 47.3% have experienced. The survey said shockingly 39.7% have been told upfront that they would receive a worse tip if they didn't tip, would receive worse service if they didn't tip, and 20% would have experienced a situation where tipping was compulsory. Tom, thoughts on this?
I have a lot of thoughts on this. So not too long ago, I did a case study on Toast, and Toast is one of the companies that makes those the kiosks that you go into, like a. You go into, like, right across the street, the little chicken place across the street, and they turn the thing around, you put your card in, you can do it like that. Guess what? So I run into a person from Toast, and I asked about this, and he said, what's really interesting, if the perception is all they did was ring up your order and they turn the thing around, consumers are like, what the hell? You want $2-3 because you turned the cash register around so I could pay you? And they feel like that's an imposition, that's like entitlement. Consumers don't like it. However, it comes to your table, very convenient to use. People like the automated systems. So that is there. And also, I have a beef on this with Uber. Uber throws at you the 5-star review and the tip option when you get in the car. Yeah. Would you like to leave a tip and a 5-star review for him? I said, the driver hasn't gone anywhere yet. We haven't even got to it. Adam, I'm sure you see it in Uber. It's right there. And so,
never taken Uber, Tom. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So I think most Americans don't like it. And this isn't about Toast or any of the retail systems or Square, which is now called something else. It's not about that. It's about how the restaurants are using it, and they're putting entitlement in your face.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that when like they didn't do anything to deserve it. And because now they have those big iPad ones and it flips and they're just sitting there watching you. And I'm like, you didn't do anything. The guy that made the damn burritos all the way down there, who's getting this $2? It's an awkward.
Maybe they pulled their tips. Well, look, in college, I was a waiter. I was before Uber and all that, I was a food delivery guy for one of those food delivery companies. And I would rely on tips. And I would remember thinking, oh, this guy tipped me $10. That was amazing. This scumbag over here tipped me $2 piece of shit. I'm going to steal his French fries next time, Now they smartened up and they sealed the bag out there. So they're
very smart.
Guys, they've got it on that. But there's nothing worse than going to like a Starbucks or what have you, or even the chicken shop across the street. Let's say you and I go for lunch, whatever. Let's say it's $40, $50, what have you. And then they turn the thing around, and then there's like a Russian standoff. But they don't say, like, usually the guy, I'll give you a couple bucks. But they give you the 10, 15, 25% thing. And all of a sudden, because I got a couple quesadillas, I got to tip
stare at you.
Yeah, they stare at you, and I got to pay you $8, $12 as a tip. Yeah, I had a couple bucks, but tip when appropriate,
I'll give you a couple things here on how I feel about this. So, first of all, I love to tip. This last week, I was at Chop's restaurant. He knows who he is. In Boca, if you're listening to this, you're a freaking stud. He treats the family with class. Dylan, when he's picky, when he's ordering, he treats him so well. My kids love to go to Chops. They had a couple waitresses I didn't like because they were flat out annoying, and I would request, don't put them in my section. They have a handful that I freaking love. There's this one guy that used to do it, shorter guy, absolutely world class. He would help us out on the other side. But this guy that's on the other side that I like to sit, he's very good to us. A couple of the people from Luff's used to work there. Babs, wherever you are, used to work at Luff's. I love you, Babs. I miss you. I love you. We had some of the best conversations together. You know who you are. You're amazing. I miss going to Luff's. It's a whole different story. They had a bad experience. We had a bad experience and we stepped away. Anyways, so I love to tip. I love to go out to dinner and I like to take the check. I like you to offer to pay, but I like to take the check. I like to take the bill. I just like doing that. Don't ask me why. I enjoy doing that. Could be the fact that I'm Armenian, Assyrian from Iran. Maybe it's that. I don't know, okay? However, if I go to like a, Starbucks the other day, and I'm getting a London Fog, okay, and I put a $5 tip, and it turns around, and she sees a $5 tip, and you don't say thank you, I'll never give you a tip.
Huh.
All I want is gratitude and thank you.
Yep.
If a person is tipping you and you don't say anything, done. I used to go to this Jersey Mike's. I don't know if it was Jersey Mike's or whatever it was. You would tip, thank you.
Yeah,
Everybody would say, guess what?
Mike's.
That's awesome. You know what? I want to tip more. Every single time I tipped. So to some of you guys that are working in a place and a person tips, say thank you. It's very simple. It makes the customer want to do it more because we have felt that there is gratitude. Here's the other part. If I go to a place and they're asking to donate to a certain charity, every single time I do it, every single time, roll up this to this, can you add another $5? Every time I do it, I don't expect a thank you because I'm not doing it to them. I'm doing it for the charity. And it's like, hey, here's what I'm willing to support with this. No problem. Here's what I do here, okay? Some of the places you go to, I think they should add the tip component to it if you offer it. Meaning, if let's just say I worked at a place that I know I'm going to entertain the hell out of you. I'm going to show you a good time, and you're going to feel a ton of gratitude. I'd like to get a tip for it, okay? So I'll put it down. How you doing, Johnny? Good seeing everything good? Yes, would you like to add a tip? Absolutely, I'd like to add a tip. The other day I went to a haircut place. I wish I knew the name to give these guys a shout out because chance of me going back there's not going to be high because I go to Drew all the time.
It was a shop? It was a barber
shop? It was
shop?
a place in La Sola. Sam, if you're on... Sam, anyways, it was this place I went to and I got a barber and these guys were Honduras. They were from Honduras. They were from Ecuador. They were from Puerto Rico. They were Cuban. I had the most incredible experience. And at the end, the haircut was like $35. I tipped the guy $60 or $70.
Amazing.
Should have seen the look on his face. I'm like, dude, I just did it because you guys entertained me.
Yeah.
For 45 minutes, they're talking to me. How you doing with this? Tell me about this. Tell me that. And then, that's part of the service and the experience. If you say thank you, if you show gratitude, if you give that experience, people are going to want to do it more. If you're entitled, if you don't even pay attention to it, if you're not even saying thank you to it, people are not going to do it no more. So a culture of a place that you work at, and it's not even Starbucks, the big brand. It's the people that work at that Starbucks. Some places you go to Starbucks or a different place, they treat you royally. Some people are like, yeah, next, what would you like? Okay, great. Boom. I'm like, you know what? Go join your DI community and make those people happy. Meanwhile, you ain't getting no tips from this guy. So tips is based on how you treat me.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.